Roll call, please.
Okay. Mrs. Coons?
Here.
Ms. Snyder?
Here.
Mr. Strittmatter?
Here.
Ms. Anderson? Here. Mr. Ray?
Here. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Flags over here. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, we both.
Same thing, guys.
Nikki, don't reach.
Me and Nikki, we're like.
Listen, we cannot.
Oh, you guys.
My feet's even dangling.
5 foot here.
Motion to excuse.
Sure, I'll make the motion to excuse Laura Cochran.
I'll second.
Who's on the phone?
Who is on the phone?
Yeah, okay.
I'm on the phone.
She's with us in spirit.
And the phone. Okay, roll call, please, sorry.
Ms. Snyder?
Here.
Mr. Strittmatter?
Yes.
Ms. Anderson?
Oh, I
Yes.
mean-
Mr. Ray?
Yes.
Mrs. Coons?
Yes? And here, I think.
We're a hot mess, dear God. Motion to accept minutes from February 6, 2023 council meeting as presented and not read, please.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from February 6, 2023 council meeting as presented and not read.
I'll second.
Thanks, John. Thanks, Heather. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Strittmatter?
Yes.
Ms. Anderson? Yes. Mr. Ray?
Yes.
Mrs. Coons?
Yes.
Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
Thank you. We're looking next for a motion to accept the purchase orders from February 4th, 2023 to February 17th, 2023, totaling $2,749.39 as presented and not read, please.
I'll make a motion to accept purchase orders from February 4th, 2023 to February 17th, 2023, totaling $749.39 as presented and not read.
I'll second.
Thanks, Heather. Thanks, Sam. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Anderson? Yes. Mr. Ray?
Yes.
Mrs. Coons?
Yes.
Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
Mr. Strittmatter?
Yes.
Okay. We're looking next for a motion to accept the bills from February 4th, 2023 to February 17th, 2023, totaling $356,073.68 as presented and not read, please.
I'll make a motion to accept bills from February 4th, 2023 to February 17th, 2023, totaling $356,073.68 as presented and not read.
I will second that.
Thanks, John. Thanks, Sam. Roll call, please.
Mr. Ray?
Yes.
Mrs. Coons?
Yes.
Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
Mr. Strittmatter?
Yes.
Ms. Anderson? Yes.
Okay, we're moving next into the reading of ordinances and resolutions, please.
Resolution number 7252-2023, a resolution authorizing the Village of Lakemore to recognize March 2023 as Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month. Whereas in 1967, boards of developmental disabilities were created in Ohio under House Bill 169, including the Summit County Development Disabilities Board, and whereas through the work of legislators and other stakeholder groups, including families and community-based organizations, public policy changes like the Americans with Disabilities Act have been developed to support and maximize the independence of people with developmental disabilities to create a more inclusive society. And whereas the Summit County Developmental Disabilities Board has made investments to support individuals so that residents with disabilities may live more independently and find meaningful employment. And whereas the Summit County Developmental Disabilities Board is asking the Village of Lakemore to join in recognizing March 6, 2023 as Inclusion Day, in which we recognize and support people of all abilities who are maximizing their talents and potential and pursuing their dreams and achieving their individual goals while making significant contributions to our community. And whereas Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month is an appropriate time to recognize the Village of Lakemore public policy improvements, the accomplishments of community organizations, developmental disability service providers, and most importantly, the achievements of thousands of individuals with developmental disabilities who contribute daily to our communities. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the Village of Lakemore, Ohio, Section 1, with the Village of Lakemore to recognize March 2023 as Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month and commend the community organizations, agencies, and direct service professionals for their dedication, awareness efforts, and outstanding assistance towards improving the quality of life for children and adults with developmental disabilities. Section 2, that is hereby found and determined that all formal actions of this council concerning and related to the passage of this resolution were adopted in an open meeting of this council, and that all deliberations of this council or any of its committees that resulted in such formal actions were in meeting open to the public in compliance with all legal requirements, including Section 121.22 of the Ohio Revised Code. Section 3, this resolution is hereby declared to be an emergency measure necessary for the immediate preservation of the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens of the Village of Lakemore, Ohio, for the continued operation of the Village of Lakemore. Therefore, this resolution shall go into effect immediately. Ordinance number 1806-2023, an ordinance authorizing all actions necessary to accept the Northeast Ohio Public Energy Council 2023 Energized Community Grant. Whereas the Village of Lakemore, Ohio is a member of the Northeast Ohio Public Energy Council and is eligible for one or more NOPEC Energized Community Grants for 2023 as provided for in the NEC Grant Program Guidelines. And whereas the Village of Lakemore wishes to enter into a grant agreement with NOPEC Inc. and substantially the form presented to this council to receive one or more NEC grants, and now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the Village of Lakemore, County of Summit, State of Ohio. Section 1, this Council of the Village of Lakemore finds and determines that it is in the best interest of the Village of Lakemore to enter into the grant agreement to accept the NEC grant or grants for 2023 and authorizes the mayor to execute the grant agreement to accept the NEC grants funds. Section 2, that it is found and determined that all formal actions of this council concerning to and relating to the adoption of this ordinance were taken in a duly noticed virtual open meeting of this council, and that all deliberations which resulted in formal action were taken in meetings open to the public in compliance with all applicable legal requirements, including Section 121.22 of the Ohio Revised Code. Section 3, that this ordinance is hereby declared to be an emergency measure necessary for the immediate preservation of the public peace, health, safety, and welfare of the village residents, for the immediate implementation of these rules, and provided this ordinance receives the affirmative vote of the members elected or appointed to council, it shall take effect and be enforced immediately upon its passage and approval by the mayor. Ordinance number 1807-2023. This is a second reading by title only. An ordinance to amend ordinance 149-1937, prohibiting the discharge of firearms and air rifles within the corporate limits of the village. Ordinance number 1809-2023. An ordinance to amend ordinance 1557-2016 by increasing the trash rate for the village residents. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the Village of Lakemore, County of Summit, State of Ohio. Section 1, Council approves to amend ordinance 1557-2016 by increasing the trash rate for the Village of Lakemore. The increase will be effective by the schedule below. January 1st, 2023, $23. What did I say?
January.
Oh, sorry. July 1st, 2023, that'll be $23.46 per month, or $70.38 per quarter. April 1st, 2024, $24.20 per month, or $72.60 per quarter. April 1st, 2025, $24.97 per month, or $74.91 per quarter. April 1st, 2026, $25.76 per month, or $77.28 per quarter. Section 2, all ordinances, resolutions, and parts of ordinances and resolutions which are in conflict with this ordinance are hereby repealed. Those ordinances, resolutions, and parts of ordinances and resolutions which are not in conflict with any provision of this ordinance are hereby expressly accepted from repeal by this ordinance and shall continue in full force and effect until otherwise amended or repealed by council. Section 3, this ordinance shall go into effect on and after the earliest period allowed by law.
Thank you. Okay, we're moving next into the mayor's report. The only item that I have to report on this evening is that tonight, Ms. Snyder is going to be sponsoring resolution number 7252, 2023, which is a resolution in connection with March 2023 being designated Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month. And in furtherance thereto, the Disabilities Award is asking that the Village of Lakemore recognize March 6, 2023 as Inclusion Day officially, and that council will be voting on this evening. But I would also like to ask that we, for the next 2 meetings in March, that we as a council and administration up here wear orange to the meetings in March in observance of Developmental Disabilities Awareness, if you're able, and so choose, okay? So that's really,
I will have to look for an orange shirt, but I'm down. Challenge
maybe we
accepted.
could get some Home Depot aprons or something, I don't know, but we'll do our best to wear some orange, if that's.
Beat Cheetos
Right?
and wipe it on a white shirt.
Thanks. And that's all I have. Anything else, did you think of anything for me? If not, we'll go right to Mrs. Kuntz for council. Nothing? Food pantry's tomorrow, but you won't see it, so we're not on YouTube tonight, and it'll be, but food pantry is tomorrow. Yeah. Go ahead, Nikki. you're up.
I really don't have much either. The only thing that will be coming up is our Easter event, which we need to still do some details on that. So, just more information to come when it gets closer to the time for Easter. But that's all I got.
Thanks, Nikki.
Yeah.
Ms. Snyder, you're up.
Okay, I'd just like to thank once more Spectrum Community Channel 1023 for covering local government meetings and local events. And as always, if anyone out there has an idea for something to be covered by Channel 1023, contact your local government officials. And also, the schedule's on the Springfield Township website and also on the Facebook page for Channel 1023, and they also have a blog out there. And thanks again, Frank, Jim, and Dan, for all your coverage and hard work. And that's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Dan. John?
Sam?
I'd just like to remind everybody the next council meetings will be March 6th and March 20th, each of those at 7 p.m. They'll be held right here at the high school.
Thanks, John. Heather?
All right. I would like to give a shout out to Maranatha Bible Church. They did a food drive for the Spartan Snack Pack this weekend. They brought a lot of food, so we are hoping to be up and running for the final 9 weeks of school. Is it 9 or 6? 9.
No.
9. Okay.
I think more
Why
than
was I
that,
thinking-
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're planning on being up and running by that time. So they've been instrumental in helping us get things up and running. They came and built the shelves and had volunteers do that, and brought the food and stuff from the food drive. So they have been a good partner to get us help us get back up and running. So this is very exciting after being off for the last couple years due to COVID and stuff. So,
Good.
you know, we hope to have a lot more good things going on with Spartan Snack Packs. So, the other thing is, I know the weather's been really nice lately, but it's not going to continue because this still is winter and it is still Ohio. So, with that, spring cleaning will be coming up. So, a couple of things. We ask that you please refrain from, when you clean up your yards, using pesticides to treat your flower beds and things like that, you know, because it does have a negative effect on our lake. The other thing is, I just recently found this out. Another good thing is to wait to clean your flower beds out and things like that until the weather gets to at least 50 degrees for at least 7 consecutive days. The reason being is because in the winter time, a lot of bees and vital insects hibernate in there. So if you wait till that long, then they can at least, you know, before cleaning out your flower beds, they at least have a chance of making it. So I'm a very big proponent, and we need to save the bees. So my little personal soapbox thing there. So just some good information on, you know, helping, yeah, so helping our little friends and helping our lake by not using pesticides and herbicides and things like that that also affect the lake. So with that, that's all I have.
Thanks, Heather. Sam?
Well, yeah, I have a couple things. Second, I don't think we touched on the workshop. Our next council workshop is going to be the 28th, and then March 15th. Those are both at 6 p.m. And then those are going to be at Lakemore Methodist Church as well, since the municipal building is going to be officially closed 1st of March, right?
Yeah, March 3rd.
Okay. With that, where are people going to drop off payments?
So
that they might
the
have?
drop box is still in the door at the
Okay.
fire station, so
that
they can
won't
still
change.
put payments in there.
Okay.
If they need to meet with me or Tracy McMenamy, they can give us a call and we'll set something up. We're gonna be meeting, we're gonna be using the Upper Waterworks office, so,
Cool. But your line is still open like always. It goes to your
Always.
cell phone. So like,
Yep.
They shouldn't call you, but they do.
they do, that's
Um,
fine.
Because it's been nicer and like the snow's melting, I know that I've done a little bit of leaf removal, but we just want to reinforce again, like if you are doing leaf removal or like cleaning up yards, that you just try not to put anything in the
Roadway.
roadways, anything like contaminate any of the gutters, stuff like that. Because that all gets, you know, put into our lake and contaminates it. So just be cautious when you're doing that. I know that we don't necessarily have a snow or a leaf removal, but if you bag them up and put them at the end, Kimball will take care of them. And then lastly, I just wanted to address, because I've had a few residents, my husband included, have been like skeptical and conspiracy theorists as far as the East Palestine thing. The fact is, like, it's terrible what's going on there. There's nothing there that would be contaminating our water, correct?
Right.
Like, that's,
Correct.
we don't get our water from the Ohio River. It would be more of a worry if we were 10 minutes away, but we are an hour and 10 minutes. The only way of contamination, besides air, like I'm sure like in that plume of smoke, we
Right.
would have ingested some because it would have gone our way. That's negligible, I feel like. But it would have had to rained based on that, and it would be such a way that it would contaminate our water
Our
beds.
groundwater.
Yeah. The EPA monitors, you are only supposed to have 2 points per billion, right, of the vinyl chloride, it to be like above the limit. And we get tested regularly, like the EPA hounds us, and that is something that they do tests for. So if you're having issues with their water, it's probably not that. I know, like, there's been a couple residents that have contacted you or like put on Facebook.
Put on Facebook and then we'll contact.
Right. I've seen people like in Outlet saying like, it's contaminated, Canton's contaminated.
Yeah, they're all kind of the same
Akron waters,
video.
it may be
That's-
contaminated. I don't know if it's from that. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of other factors for Akron water, but whatever.
It would be,
Um,
it could happen more so with Akron than ours. They have surface water.
Right.
So everything is gonna fall.
But they treat it just as well, and they have those
They do.
safeguards. So I don't trust a lot of like the upper politicians. I understand the skepticism. However, I trust the scientists behind it, right? Like, we trust them for our health and safety. We trusted them during COVID.
Right.
They're testing this. We know, they know a lot more than us, and they've spent a lot of money to go to college and take those tests. So, moral of the story, if there's an issue with your water, please contact Tracy.
Yes.
She has her phone number listed. Is it extension 3 of the village phone number?
Yep.
Mhm.
And it
If
goes
there's
right
an
to my
issue with
cell
your water,
phone.
it is 100% likely that it is
Right.
not from the contaminants.
And we did take samples
houses.
from the house that called and they were fine.
Right. So,
So,
that is my soapbox. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
and we have, and I've asked if there's any special samples that we should be taking and they said no. That everything's fine. Everything falls within EPA standards.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but I did put, and Carolyn's gonna share on all the social
Sure.
media,
Your statement from the Village of Lakemore, yeah, it was
which
great.
is basically the same statement that Cuyahoga Falls has made and Hudson. Basically, they're the continental divide
That's-
separates us from them.
Right.
So everything that they've got is gonna run south. It's not gonna run uphill.
Exactly.
So,
And we don't get.
and we
our-
have groundwater, not surface water, so it's gonna take a lot for something, even if it was airborne, to seep into the ground through all of our rocks. That's why we have hard water,
Right.
and infect the water
And-
that we treat. We test our water every single day.
Right. I mean, the only, it's not even a worry, but like, say you have well, which like, do we have more than 10 people in the Village of Lakemore that use well systems?
We might have 10.
Okay, you're right. It's very low. Like, there, you're not standard to the testing that we are. So like,
Right.
if you're worried, you should get that tested because you don't have to. Besides
Right.
water softeners, you don't have to do anything to it. But
Right.
even then, the chances that it was contaminated are so minute.
Right.
So, but
We're live
I
now, right?
digress.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
We-
and
We
the-
we
and
are
the-
live on YouTube now, just so you know, we
Okay.
got connected.
Good. I hope you got all of that.
Right.
You're like, and cut.
Yeah. And the other thing is people were saying that the water smells like chlorine, like, a lot like chlorine. But yes, people don't understand that chlorine is vital to any city water. It is required to be put in there because it does kill bacteria, just different viruses and things that are, come in contact with our water. So chlorine, every city does it. It's not just Lakemore. We don't, put more in based on, oh, this city, puts more in, so we do. It's based on the results from the water testing. The EPA has required us to get a water technician in order to do the testing and continue to do the testing. And the amount of chlorine that goes in there is based upon the results of those tests. So there are times that it's going to smell more like chlorine than other times, depending upon weather and
If we've had a water break, that might
yeah,
stir it up.
and the water breaks and things like that, yes. So, we don't just go, oh, well, we're gonna put chlorine in just to put chlorine in. It is a requirement and there is a benefit to it. And it is also done by every major city, well, not even major, every place that has a water system, so.
If you're ever worried about what's in your water, or if you're
Yes.
ever curious about what it is, we have to send out a water test once a year, right?
Right
And it's
before
a
July
very-
1st.
Yeah, and it's a
And we
huge
post them
pamphlet,
on our
and it gets
website.
sent to each address in the Village of Lakemore.
Yeah.
So, if you need an extra copy, I'm sure that you have more, Tracy.
Yeah.
You can always reach out
We
to you.
put 'em on
and
our
it lists
website.
every particle per billion, or like
Yeah.
everything that they have tested
Sure.
and found in the water, and what we test and put in,
Yep.
so.
Okay.
And we sent out our backflow preventer surveys, they're almost all out. And for the lead service line survey, both required by the Ohio EPA, not just because I had nothing better to do.
Right.
It's
You and
because
the EPA, you guys are like this, right? I mean,
they
you guys
love
are
For
like-
better or for worse.
That's
they love
right.
I
us.
know, but some people think that we're just sending
Pulling
this out
fingers.
because we,
Just because.
wanna kill trees and waste,
How much is this
postage.
gonna cost me?
and
I don't know. Just
We're being
gotta-
nosy or what have you, and it's kind of legally
Look at it,
mandated
like,
from.
This is
on
a
high.
public, like, it's a safety thing, like,
It
people are
is-
worried about them,
It's
so.
all about making sure our drinking water is safe.
Right, so,
That we're not putting pollutants in it from things that it could happen, that would require a backflow preventer and they don't have it. Or because they might have a lead service line. The chances are probably none that anybody in Lakemore has it. But we have to do the study anyways, so. Cause drinking lead's bad.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
All right.
Dumb ways to die.
That's it for
All
me.
Are we good?
Don't
Council?
drink blood.
We're good.
Mrs. Coons? Ms.
Yes, we're
Snyder?
good, we're good. Everyone's good.
Fiscal officer? We're
Good.
okay? We're ready to move on?
Yep.
Mr. Strip Matter?
Yep.
Ms. Davis?
I'm good.
Mr. Ray? Administrator? Yeah, okay. Rocking and rolling, we're gonna move on to appearing before council, and we have someone signed up this evening. Drew Williams, right?
Yes.
Got it, okay, the podium is yours. Yeah,
All right.
please state your full name, your address, and your reason for speaking or wanting to speak tonight before council.
Good evening, Council and Mayor. My name's Drew Williams. My address is 1255 Wednesbury Circle, Akron, Ohio. I am here on behalf of the Summit County Board of Developmental Disabilities to just thank you for the sponsoring of the resolution acknowledging March Disability Awareness Month, including March 6th as Inclusion Day. Just very much appreciate your support and your partnership in building an accessible community, including a great partnership we have with our Springfield local schools. So just wanted to acknowledge that and thank you for that this evening.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming, that means a lot, thank you.
It's the nicer
Nice.
guests.
What was it?
Said it's the nicer guests.
Right. Yes. Thanks, Drew. Thanks to the Summit TD, and let's see if this passes. First, before we go there, we have some old business. Mr. Strittmatter, take it away, please.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to accept ordinance number 1806-2023, an ordinance authorizing the actions necessary to accept Northeast Ohio Public Emergency Council 2023 Energized Community Grant. First, I'd like to make a motion to dispense with the third reading.
I'll second.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Coons?
Yes.
Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
Mr. Strittmatter?
Yes.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Ray?
Yes. I'll second the original.
Thank you, Sam. Any discussion? Okay, thanks. Roll call, please.
Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
Mr. Strittmatter?
Yes.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Ray?
Yes.
Mrs. Coons?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks, council. Ms. Snyder, you're up.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to adopt Resolution 7252, 2003, and that's the resolution authorizing the Village of Lakemore to recognize March 2023 as Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month. And that includes March 6th as Inclusion Day. But first, I'd like to make a motion to dispense with the 3 readings.
I'll second.
Thanks, Sam. Roll call, please.
Mr. Strittmatter?
Yes.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Ray?
Yes.
Mrs. Coons?
Yes.
Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
I'll second the original.
Thank you, Heather. Any discussion?
I think it's awesome. We don't need to list March 6th in the sections part, right? Like, it's okay just at the top?
Yeah.
It's in,
Yeah, I think we're good.
it's in,
It's in the whereas, yeah. It's just not
Yeah,
like the
yeah, it's
section
not
1,
in
2, or
the
3.
heading,
That's what I
but
just want
it's
to
in
make sure,
there.
because I want to be
Make
efficient.
sure our
Since-
press guy gets in.
since
That's
Rich
also what we're worried
mentioned
about.
that's why.
Yeah, no, thank you. Good.
So we're good.
Okay.
Okay, any other discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Ray?
Yes.
Mrs. Coons?
Yes.
Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
Mr. Strittmatter?
Yes.
Okay,
All right.
it's a wrap, right?
No motion
Yeah.
to enter.
No reason for executive session, Mrs. Cochran? On the phone?
All right.
Okay,
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
thanks, Sam.
I will second.
Second.
Well, we'll let Nikki have it.
Nikki.
Thank you. I
Nikki
know,
can
I
have
haven't
it.
got any all night.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Ray?
Yes.
Mrs. Coons?
Yes.
Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
Mr. Strittmatter?
Yes.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
All right.
Always a short meeting. Good job.
Yep.
And then I love how we got on your.
All right, Ms. Laura.